you're going to hear about my parties. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
So I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
What if I told you your favorite rapper might have been personally threatened by Diddy? Not metaphorically, not musically, but in some real-life call-the-cops type situations. We're talking car explosions, nightclub assaults, alleged murder threats, and a wild trail of intimidation that sounds more like a Scorsese film than hip-hop history. From Drake to Kendrick, Kid Cudi to J. Cole, no one was untouchable. And now, with a federal trial looming over the bad boy empire, it looks like Diddy's skeletons are clawing their way out of the walk-in closet. Today, we're diving into every major rapper Diddy has allegedly threatened, confronted, or crossed. And yeah, some of this sounds almost too wild to be true, but the receipts are there. The Kid Cudi car bomb incident. Let's start with one of the most explosive allegations. Literally, in 2023, Cassie, Diddy's longtime ex, filed a lawsuit against him, revealing disturbing claims of abuse and intimidation. But tucked inside that lawsuit was a bombshell. She said Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and not like, yo, I'm mad, I'ma blow up on this dude kind of way. We're talking Molotov cocktail. Arsonist energy. She claims Diddy told her straight up, I'm gonna blow up that ninchus Ianid's car. And then Kid Cudi's Porsche blew up, not in some random LA neighborhood, not on set, in his driveway. Cudi confirmed the story later, stating simply, this is all true, and according to LA Fire Department records, the blaze was no accident. It was intentional. This event was brushed off back in 2012. But now that Cassie's case has opened up the floodgates and federal authorities are digging deep into Diddy's past, this literal car bombing may become part of a much broader criminal case. What kind of beef leads to firebombing a Porsche? We don't know what sparked it, but clearly it sparked something. The Kendrick x J. Cole VMA brawl. Next up, the VMA after-party that turned into a melee between three of hip-hop's biggest names. In 2013, Kendrick dropped his now legendary verse on Big Sean's Control. He called out basically the entire rap game, declared himself the King of New York, and stirred up a media storm. One person who wasn't impressed? Diddy. At a VMA after-party that year, sources say Diddy tried to pour a drink on Kendrick. Why? Because ego. Because Diddy saw Kendrick's claim as disrespect to East Coast royalty. But Kendrick wasn't alone. J. Cole was there too. Cole stepped in to defend K. Dot and things popped off. According to TDE's Punch, Diddy went full WWE and allegedly picked up a broken bottle, threatened to slice J. Cole's throat, and all hell broke loose. Years later, Cole addressed it cryptically in his track, Let Go My Hand. My last scrap was with Puff Daddy. Who would have thought it? A low-key way of saying, yeah, it happened. Now the story has a weirdly peaceful ending. Years later, Diddy actually narrated a prayer on Cole's Born Sinner album, suggesting the beef got squashed. But for a moment in 2013, a prayer was the last thing on anyone's mind. The Drake slap and the 0 to 100 fallout. You've heard of 0 to 100? Well, Diddy allegedly went 100 to hospital real quick. Back in 2014, Diddy and Drake both had eyes on the same beat, the now iconic 0 to 100. Producer Boy Wanda had offered it around. And word is, Diddy thought he had dibs, but before he could do anything with it, Drake dropped the track and it became a massive hit. Diddy was livid. One night in Miami, he confronted Drake outside Club Live and reportedly slapped him so hard, Drake's shoulder was dislocated. No bodyguards jumped in fast enough. No security diffused it. Drake supposedly had to go straight to the ER. Now, this wasn't just a brawl. This escalated into mafia-level warnings. Rap OG J Prince stepped in and warned Diddy, essentially saying, you touch my people again, your people might get touched. Translation, this ain't just music anymore. Fast forward to 2016. Drake claps back on 4 p.m. in Calabasas, throwing subliminal shade. Don't know how to deal with me, know how to kill with me, kill with me. And if that wasn't enough, Kendrick brought it all back in 2024 with his shot on Euphoria. You gonna make a nah. Deaking bring back Puff. This drama has been simmering for a decade, and now it's boiling. The Steve Stoute champagne assault. Let's rewind to 1999. A time when music videos were religion and MTV was the temple. Nas and Diddy dropped Hate Me Now, a controversial track with an even more controversial video. It featured both artists being crucified, imagery that sparked immediate backlash. Diddy freaked out. He wanted the scene cut. He called up Stoute, Nas's manager, and said, "Pull the scene. I don't want this aired." But MTV played the uncut version anyway. The scene aired, and Diddy lost it. He stormed into Stoute's office in Manhattan, wielding a champagne bottle, and allegedly beat Stoute with it. We're talking full-on attack. Stoute later said, "It was an attempt on my life." Police got involved. Diddy was charged, but he paid $500,000 in a settlement, apologized, and walked away with a misdemeanor. Imagine assaulting someone with a bottle, paying $500,000, and calling it a Tuesday. Welcome to early 2000s hip-hop, the Shyne scapegoat theory. Finally, let's talk about Shyne, one of hip-hop's most tragic what-could-have-been stories. Shyne was 19 when Diddy signed him, a rapper with a voice eerily similar to Biggie, and for many, a potential successor. But then came the infamous 1999 club shooting. Gunfire broke out in a Manhattan nightclub. Diddy, Shyne, and Jennifer Lopez were all present. 3 people were injured. Cops arrested everyone. But somehow, Diddy walked free. Shyne, he took the fall. He was convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison, and even while locked up, he stayed loyal, claiming he fired in self-defense and never implicating Diddy. Years later, many speculate that Shyne was pressured or incentivized to keep quiet and take the rap. Diddy reportedly gave Shyne's mother a house. Meanwhile, Shyne missed a decade of his life. Now, Shyne's a politician in Belize. Diddy, on the other hand, kept partying, kept building his empire, until now. The irony: the young man who went to prison is now writing laws. The man who got off free might be fighting for his freedom soon. So, let's recap. A rapper's car blown up in their driveway, a club brawl with threats to slice J. Cole's throat, a slap that allegedly sent Drake to the ER, a manager beaten with a champagne bottle, and a young artist doing a decade in prison, while Diddy partied on. This isn't just hip-hop beef. This is a criminal anthology, wrapped in Versace and Hennessy. And now, as Diddy's legal day of reckoning creeps closer, questions are bubbling to the surface. How many more stories are out there? How many people stayed silent out of fear or loyalty? And is the music industry finally ready to confront its own kingpin? Let me know in the comments. What's the wildest Diddy story you've ever heard? Would you take a champagne bottle to the Dome for $500,000? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this before the bad boy lawyers send a cease and desist, because this ain't over, and we're just getting started.